I have hated the no good, low down, stinking Philadelphia Eagles. But I also cannot tell a lie. They are that good this year. I predicted on this week's podcast they are going to win the whole thing. And my team is going to go 8-9 and miss the playoffs. I cannot lie to you. It was the truth on display tonight in Brazil. The Eagles didn't even play very well tonight. They fumbled and stumbled around on a field the NFL should be embarrassed by. Come on, NFL, you're better than that. The Eagles didn't have Isaiah Rodgers, their starting cornerback. They didn't have Devin White, who will play a bunch happier this year in Philly than he did last year in Tampa. He will be a difference maker when he gets healthy. The Eagles are just loaded. Saquon took over the game on offense behind the best line in pro football. And man, Zach Bond was all over the field and took over the game on defense. I don't know what's not to love about the Eagles. You could see it tonight on display. Jalen Hurts didn't play very well. He fumbled and stumbled around because he didn't trust his footing, couldn't run the option. Wait until they're on a fast field. See what happens with all those weapons he's got at his fingertips. I'm going to say it again. The Philadelphia Eagles are off to the races. They're going to go 18-2, and they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I 1000% agree with Skip, but me being an Eagles fan and watching Skip for a very long time, I'm familiar with your game. This is a win-win for you. The Eagles win it all. See, I told you, if we lose, F them Eagles. I always hated them anyway, so it's a win-win situation. But I will say this. Watching that game, that wasn't even the best. That wasn't the best. And that was Saquon game. Imagine when AJ have his game. Imagine when Devontae Smith have his game. Devontae Smith had 80-plus yards, and it seemed like a quiet game. Sit back and think about that. Devontae Smith had 80-plus yards, and that was a quiet game for him. That's insane. Imagine when Jalen Hurts, get out that rusty stage. Maybe it take another week or two. Hell, it might be this week going into Atlanta or Atlanta coming to us. Imagine when he get out of that, the decision making get a tad bit better, the offense start gelling. This team could be dominant. Because if you look at Green Bay, I was told that's a Super Bowl team. That's what I was told. I'm like, I don't know about that, but if that's the case, say they like a second, third seed team, and you made it look easy like that, yeah, Eagles can be dangerous. Because, again, imagine if Jalen Hurts don't make those mistakes. We talking about 300-plus yards. 300-plus yards in the air. Then you still got Saquon. Because the thing with playing the Eagles will make them so dangerous, you just don't know who day it is. Like, maybe this Atlanta game, this might be Devontae Smith. Might go for 100-plus. Maybe Saquon go for 70, 80 yards. And maybe A.J. Brown go for like 60, 70, and the Devontae Smith be the 100-plus yard, and you just don't know. That's what make this offense so dynamic. And then I didn't even mention Dallas Goedert. What if Dallas Goedert decide to have 80, 90-plus yards? Like, you literally just don't know. You don't know. So, yeah, I agree with Skip. I mean, it's not far-fetched to say the Eagles might only lose 2 games. It's not far-fetched at all. After watching game one, we put up 34 points. Think about all the complaining we doing, including me. We put up 34 points. We gifted them 6 points. We're like, we'll give you these 6 points. We gifted them 6 points. Interception that was like, what was that? And then the bad snap. We gave them that. Imagine no letting up. Imagine if we have a game we just no letting up. No mistakes by the offense. Defense playing up to par. And Zach Bond continues what he's doing. We talking about 40, 50 burgers on teams if that happens. So, again, this is not far-fetched. And then he mentioned the defensive side of the ball. If you think about it, if Devin White and Isaiah Rodgers are the starters, we didn't even have them. And the reason why Green Bay was scoring, if we want to keep it real, They was attacking Devontae Maddox. And so if you slide Quinyon Mitchell in the slot again, you had Isaiah Rodgers on the outside, you're going to have to pick your poison because your teams are not testing Slay. That just is what it is. Or maybe teams give that a shot. They're not testing Slay. Isaiah Rodgers, when he come back, he's going to get the test now. Like, is he really back? Is he really, really back? And if he is, you gonna cost your team some turnovers. So yeah, we didn't even have him. If Devin White played up to par and he's really the starter, I'm telling you, this team can be dangerous. Dangerous. So best O line, best running back, wide receiver trio on a million. I even heard AJ Brown talk about it like, man, there were some mistakes. But when he said it this time, remember he was saying stuff like that. There were some mistakes last year, or there were mistakes. Like he was saying it with like a frown. But this time he said it with a smile, like, yeah, man, there was some mistakes, but bro, this offense can be something different. So that's what AJ Brown is saying. Jalen Hurts even said, like, yes, there's some stuff I got to clean up, and I'm happy he was honest with himself. Like, there's some stuff I got to clean up, but I'm telling y'all, when that stuff is cleaned up, we got to do against Atlanta, and we just keep this thing steamrolling and going. This team is going to be really, really hard to stop. 34 points with a sloppy first two drives like that, and then again, praise to the defense only giving up 6 points. We were supposed to blow Green Bay out. Green Bay is not even on our tier, and Green Bay is considered a top tier team. Top tier team. So yes, I agree with Skip. This team can win it all. The only team I could see beating the Eagles is the Eagles. Like if we would have lost that game, even though I never had a feeling we was gonna lose, it was just how we was gonna win. If we would have lost that game, I would have like, yo, we beat ourselves. These turnovers or these play calls, because I ain't really even getting into the play calling in none of my videos yet. Some of the play calling was iffy and it looked like last year a little bit. But then some of the play calls look, refreshing and new. So when they were saying like they're going to squeeze in some of what Nick Sirianni brought in, I think that was the case, like them QB draws. I know who calls those. I never really seen Kevin Moore call QB draws like that. That's a Nick Sirianni thing. We got to get all that out the playbook. But back to the team just in general, yes, this team can be dangerous. Jalen Hurts is dangerous. Offense is dangerous. Mekhi Becton, the one question mark answered the question, so he is good. Yeah, this team can go far. This team can go far. And yeah, almost forgot NFL, man. If we have another international game somewhere, please make sure the field is fine. Because I think Skip was on to something when he said Jalen Hurts didn't trust the footing of the field. And it seemed like a lot of guys didn't trust the footing on the field. So they tried to play it safe because the whole goal is to get back to the next game healthy. You don't want to get injured in Brazil week 1, and you got a long season ahead. But it looked like Jalen Hurts was hesitant because how slippery that field was. They didn't want to tear anything or anything like that. So yeah, man, shout out to Skip Bayless. Finally preaching, finally telling the truth. Cowboys being 8-9, I think he's a little down on this team. I see them as a 10-win team, and I think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't know how far. I don't know how far, but this is Eagle Al, man. I'm a